Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm CHELDIN BARLATT RUMER, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do that each and every day through our growing community, our engaging content, and our real connections. Each morning, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern, I share a little morning message with all of you. Good morning, Darby, in hopes of connecting you, giving you a little bit of inspiration, as well as keeping you motivated each and every day. I do that at about 11 o'clock Eastern, each and every day. You know, it's a selfish thing. It keeps me kind of focused on what it is that I've got going on as well. And it has been truly helpful to me. I hope that it is helpful to all of you as well. So thank you so much for continuing to tune in. Today is really about using your voice. As you know, I think is so imperative and so necessary for you to find your voice and use it each and every day in an intentional way. Hello, Linda. How are you? I know, right? It's very springy. My goal is for you today is to share the lessons that you have learned. It's not so complicated. It's not anything heavy. It's just about you sharing the lessons that you have learned. So often we keep those to ourselves. So often we just really hone in and focus on how it's helping us and how it, you know, the lessons in which we've learned, the lefts and the rights and the turns, and we keep those to ourselves. But today, my hope is that we dive into and share, we part our lips and share, we write a blog and share, we send an email and share, because there's a lot of other individuals who are out there who thinks what we do looks easy, who thinks that, you know, they're not even capable of getting as far as we have gone because they haven't heard the lessons that we have to share. And so whether or not people think that what we're doing is easy or whether or not they're discouraged because they think it's too hard, I think that we need to, as those that are living and breathing in the space, those that are looking to contribute and to continue to grow, there is something about sharing the lessons of our journey. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be in a presentation or in a keynote speech. It can be in a blog post. It can be in a message. It can be in our posts on our social media. It can give us an opportunity not only to teach other people, but also for us to reflect on what we've learned along the way. You know, I think that if I don't listen to I know that if I don't listen to the lessons of what it is that I've lived through, I find myself being very, very trepidatious in what it is that I'm doing moving forward, right? So I've begun to scale back up to where it is that we were before quarantine. And even before quarantine, there's so many trials and tribulations that was This Is It Network. The way in which we were functioning was silly. What we were doing and our focus wasn't even going in the right direction. The way that we were operating was messy. There were just so many different things that wasn't working before quarantine. And there were so many lessons before that. And without it, I always talk about the silver lining and all of this. Without it, I wouldn't have slowed down to evaluate and to determine and to recognize what it is that I had learned. I would have kept moving at that momentum, kept making the same mistake over and over and over and over again, not leaning into guidance and advice, not finding resource, not asking for help. I would have continued to drown in my own ambition. But when I began to tell the lessons of the valleys that I've lived, when I began to do these morning messages now at episode 272, when I began to do this, when I began to reflect, when I gave myself permission to look at what I've done, applaud myself for the things that I've done well, but also recognize the lessons and share them with other people, it was relieving to me. It wasn't necessarily about the individuals in which I was teaching or even, the people that I was advising. It was about me recollecting what it is that I did wrong, not to dwell on it, but to recognize it. So I will never touch that stove again. So I will never put myself into a position where I wasn't asking questions or I wasn't asking for help or I wasn't finding resource. This is before I had a legal team, before I had an accounting firm, before I had an advisor, all of those things, before I had an advisory board, right? I thought that I was functioning at the height of what it is that I was doing. I was doing my best, but I wasn't doing it in the best way. So now I share those lessons, not only because those individuals who listen and watch receive them and they learn from them, but because I can now stand in front of it. Now I can deliver it, not as a victim of what it is that I went through, but being wiser for it. And it's important to share those lessons. It's important to understand and recognize what you've learned from an uncomfortable situation or for something you didn't do right. And believe me, there was so much, even in the most recent 2019 was very messy for us, even before COVID happened, even before the quarantine happened. And the quarantine and the COVID and all of that situation forced me to recognize those lessons. It forced me to look at what it is that I was building, why I was building it, who I was talking to, why I was talking to them, what I was spending, how often I was spending it. It forced me, it gave me no choice but to live in my lessons and therefore share them. And so I encourage you, good morning, Lisa, I encourage you to do that, not because it serves those that you are talking to, though it will, but because it will serve you. It allows for you to play back that tape, not again to dwell on it, not again to feel bad about it, not again to, hurt or have it hurt, but because it will afford you the ability to learn and grow. The reciting of those lessons as I recite these morning messages help me just as much as I hope it helps all of you. Because I have to remember, I have to take me to a place where I'm like, okay, as I'm setting this up for May, as I'm looking at what it is that I'm looking to do, as I close out the second quarter, right? Can you believe it? May and June, we got these 8 weeks left to make something happen, to reach my goals. And I'm tempted to make the bad decisions that I made a year ago, 2 years ago. I'm tempted to fall into those traps. I'm tempted to do those things. I'm tempted to go the easy way out instead of pacing myself on a road less traveled. I'm tempted to do that each and every day. But then I remember the lesson. And to remember it is one thing and to share it is another. And then I share the lesson and I hear it and it reiterates itself, not only in my mind, but refuses. And I ensure that I don't participate in that action anymore because I know better, because I can do better. It's a really amazing thing to be able to sit in what you've done wrong. And it hurts, believe me, it totally hurts, right? Remembering the view from the valley, right, is a painful one. But remembering it, not dwelling in it, but remembering it and sharing it affords us the ability to encourage other people to take another road, to ensure that people know better because you didn't. So I encourage all of us today to share some lessons with someone. Again, not only for that person, not only to ensure that that person knows better, but also so you can reflect on it today and say that I know better now. I have more to give. I have more to provide. I can do more and I can be more and all the things because you've learned those lessons and that you're willing to share them. I'm CHELDIN BARLATT RUMER, and this is it. Just a little morning message for all of you to get you started throughout the day. We have an event coming up on Monday, May 10th. It is about building and growing your community. All of us should be focusing on how do we hone in and how do we build a community that will serve us. We don't need to be everything to everyone. We just need to find a community that works for us, our brand, and our business. And so we'll be talking about that on May 10th. It is an opportunity for you to join us. It's only $25 if you are not part of the Scream Your Dream community. If you are a member, a screamer, This Is It expert, or an advisor, it's always free of charge. So if you'd like to learn about how you can be part of our free events, more information about that is found within the post. Just simply inquire about being a Scream Your Dream member. Also, I am open for business in the terms of personal branding. So I know a lot of you have been asking, I've been doing a lot of keynote speaking, and a lot of you on the heels of those speeches have been asking how they can work with me directly. I do have limited time, but I am opening my doors to be able to help you in with personal branding, in understanding and honing in your messaging, and understanding and honing in your offerings, so you can in fact scream your dreams. So if you're looking for personal branding help, or if you know someone in your community that is, please feel free to utilize the links within the post. And I'd love to learn more about what you've got going on and be able to better help you. So again, I'm CHELDIN BARLATT RUMER, and this is it. I come to you each and every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, to provide a morning message. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network, connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do that through our growing community, our engaging content, and our real connections. Log on to thisisittv.com for more information, or follow, fan, and like us everywhere you find at This Is It TV. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.